The whole land is under the rule of an evil tribe. The last hope of freedom is a young man who will unite the legendary weapon to the royal child and bring back peace. According to a legend, the city of Ramthep is a great old kingdom built with a combat skill called Muay Thai and a sacred weapon known as the Satra. For many centuries, its people lived in peace and prosperity until Lord Dehayaksa, the Yaksha king, moved his troops to conquer the other lands. He attacked from the north through the kingdom of Monkey to the heart of Ramthep Nakorn. After a big war, the king and every royal member were locked in a dungeon 7 stories deep, so no one would dare to resist. For many years, the people of Ramthep Nakorn suffered. Then the old royal prophet predicted that a man would defeat this evil. He will be born in a specific year and will combine Muay Thai and Satra to defeat the Yakshas. Since then, Lord Dehayaksa ordered the destruction of all Muay Thai schools and imprisoned all boys born at an auspicious time. His forces searched for the sacred weapon to destroy it, but a brave army general, Pan, snuck into the treasure vault and retrieved the legendary weapon. Pan runs away with the weapon and his few-months-old son, Art. The weather is terrifying with heavy rains and storms, and Pan is hardly walking on a rope bridge. The Yakshas attack him from all sides, but his mates try their best to help him. Unfortunately, an evil Yaksha jumps on the bridge and tries to snatch the weapon. Pan bravely fights the enemy with his sword while firmly holding Satra and his son. The bridge breaks and Pan falls down to disappear in the mist. Luckily, he survives and washes off to an island, Nok-Aen, along with his son. There they are rescued by a Muay Thai teacher who lives on the island along with many other people. Many years pass and Ott has grown up into a young man. He loves hanging around the island and often gets late to his class with the Muay Thai teacher. His father scolds him and advises him to train as hard as he can. His teacher is a tough man who doesn't speak much but makes Ott go through heavy training. Ott often feels like giving up and loses motivation. Seeing his condition, Pan decides to finally tell his son why he has to train so hard. He takes him to a secret room in their house where Satra is kept. Pan has carved the wood to mark his story. His mission was to sneak into the center of the palace and retrieve the weapon before it was destroyed. Pan used the secret passage to escape to Irongong village, and he met Ott's birth parents. They sacrificed their lives to help Pan escape the Yaksha clan. They asked Pan to take care of Ott before they died. They are the man and woman who appear in Ott's dreams. While falling down the bridge, Pan's nerves were injured and he became half paralyzed. He tried to use a magic eagle to contact his independence army, but there was no answer. Now he hopes that Ott will carry out his mission to bring the weapon to the dungeon and give it to the royal child. After understanding the seriousness of the situation, Ott trains harder and continuously to get ready for the mission as soon as possible. Pan advises his son to practice his mind to focus. He needs to be witty and smart. The body is the temple of the mind. When he gets hurt, it happens to his body, not to his mind. Once he focuses his mind and concentrates, he will feel nothing. Once his mind and body are ready, Satra may lend him its power. Pan also tattoos a specific pattern on Ott's body. Within the next few months, he mastered Muay Thai. One day, while he was training, Pan finally received a reply from the Independence Army. Later that night, an officer reaches the island and tells Pan that they migrated to a different place, and that's why they got his message so late. However, the army is ready to carry out the mission, and they are more trustworthy than Ott. Pan still prefers to wait for the rest of the army. When the officer realizes Pan will not hand him over Satra, he shoots a flare to signal the Yakshas. The monsters attack in the next moment. The officer was just a traitor who was spying for Yakshas. He also advises Pan to give up against the power. Pan hands over the weapon to Ott and advises him to complete the mission alone. Ott runs away and jumps off the cliff. He swims to the shore and witnesses the island burn along with his loved ones. Ott breaks down and wonders what's the purpose of training so hard if he couldn't even save his dad. After a while, he gathers himself because he must fulfill the mission for which so many lives have been sacrificed. Ott reaches another village out of Yaksha's rule. He tries to ask everyone about the way to Ramthep Nakorn, but no one likes talking about it. Ott keeps wandering in the streets and feels like someone is following. It's a monkey who has stolen the weapon. To escape Ott, the monkey jumps on a flying pirate ship. Ott follows him too and gets inside the ship where several Yaksha goons are present who have kidnapped a beautiful lady. Ott has to get back his weapon first. He finds the monkey fighting with a red Yaksha and jumps in to help, but later he realizes that the red Yaksha is actually the monkey's friend. The goons find them and attack. Ott gets in the dungeon, but the kidnapped lady tells the goons, and while they are distracted, she escapes the cage. She's actually a Chinese pirate named Zai-Oen. Her ship and men also come over to rescue her. The goons release a giant Yaksha that attacks Zai-Oen. To save her, Ott jumps in, but he's too naive to fight the monster. Suddenly, the Satra glows and flies towards Ott. It gives him enough power to fight off the giant Yaksha. Ott falls unconscious afterward and opens his eyes on Zai-Oen's ship. He's kept in a cage along with the monkey and the red yaksha. The yaksha recognizes Satra that chooses his user by itself, and it had chosen Ott. However, Ott believes it only happens so he can protect the weapon and deliver it to the royal child. The three wanderers finally get a chance to know each other. The red yaksha is called a traitor because he deceived his own race as they banished him for falling in love with a human. His real name is Mirada. The monkey is actually a prince named Vada, whose whole kingdom was destroyed by the yakshas, and he had to survive by stealing food. Mirada and Vada coincidentally met, but became good friends. Ott also gives his own introduction, and realizes that they all want revenge against the yakshas. Jalin hears them all, and she comes to give them an offer. She will return Ott's weapon if he lets her join his journey to Ramthep Nakorn, because her brother is kidnapped by the yakshas. Meanwhile, Lord Dehayaksa has ordered to gather all the Ramthep heirs and torture them to reveal who is the royal child mentioned in the prophecy. Dehayaksa starts insulting the royals, calling them cowards. The royal child gets triggered and stands up. To keep him a secret, the other boys also stand up to claim that they are the royal child. However, Lord Dehayaksa has already figured out the truth. Back at the flying ship, Ott notices Xiaoan playing a musical instrument in the middle of night. Ott also joins her with his instrument. After playing for a while, Ott stops to admire Xiaoan's skill, making her blush. The instrument was gifted to her by her father. After him, the only one Xiaoan had was her brother, who was taken away by the yakshas. While they are talking, Mirada hears a creepy noise. Someone is coming to attack them. It's the notorious yaksha Black Jaeger, who was sent by Lord Dehayaksa to retrieve the weapon. He lands down with his monstrous bird and attacks Ott. He has also brought his troops who are following the ship. To leave them behind, Xiaoan takes the ship's control and drives under the cliff. The ship crashes on the passage under the cliff. Ott comes back to his senses and helps Xiaoan get up. Then he notices Satra and proceeds to pick it up. But Black Jaeger has survived the crash too. He pins Ott to the wall and proceeds to crush him with his claws. Ott calls him a devil that triggers Jaeger's memory. He tells Ott that he has no right to call him a devil. Many years ago, this land belonged to Jaeger's ancestors, before Ott's clans invaded and took it, then claimed it as Ramthep Nakorn. They burned down the previous city and traded yakshas like animals. All the scars Jaeger has on his face are given by humans. Ott is about to suffocate to death, but then Satra activates again and empowers Ott. He knocks down Jaeger and accuses him of killing his loved ones. Jaeger has also accepted his defeat and wants to get killed by a skilled enemy like Ott. Ott was about to take Jaeger's life, but the weapon deactivated. Afterwards, Ott hears a voice telling him to forgive and forget. He spares Jaeger's life because killing him will not bring back those who are already dead. They both just want revenge and are fighting a war they didn't start. Ott puts Jaeger on his bird and tells him to start a better life. Afterwards, he continued his journey to Ramthep Nakorn. The whole land is surrounded with guards and they can't get in directly. Ott remembers that there is a secret passage in his birthplace which leads to the center of Ramthep. He reaches his birthplace, which has several bells surrounding a specific area. As Ott rings the bell, a secret passage opens from the ground that takes them to Ramthep. A huge ceremony is going on in which the royal child will be sacrificed. He is tied up while other heirs have lost all hopes. Ott and his friends pretend to be slaves taken by Mirada. They reach where the ritual is going on. The human officer recognizes him, but it's too late. Ott rushes to save the royal child while his friends fight the yakshas. With the help from Mirada, Ott succeeds in bringing the royal child to a safe spot and gives him Satra. His mission seems to be finally completed. However, it was all just a trap. The royal child was Lord Dehayaksa in disguise. He snatches away the weapon and orders to capture Ott and his friends. The weapon is thrown in fire and Ott and other humans will be sacrificed in the morning. Meanwhile, Mirada's real identity is revealed. He's the brother of Lord Dehayaksa, who was banished for falling for a human. Dehayaksa is still keeping his lover and threatens to kill her if Mirada doesn't kill Ott and his other friends. Mirada refuses to do that, and the cruel Dehayaksa kills the poor woman. Instead of giving up, Mirada is ready to kill his own brother. They start fighting, but no one can stand against the powerful Dehayaksa. Ott remembers what his father said. Miracles happen if the faith is strong enough. With the last drop of his strength, Ott starts dragging the heavy chains to save Satra. Dehayaksa proceeds to stop him, but Jaeger gets in the way. He has returned to pay back Ott's favor. After throwing away Jaeger, Dehayaksa gets back to Ott, who is holding Satra tightly to his chest. Dehayaksa believes the prophecy was just a lie and no one can ever stand against him. Saying this, he pushes Ott with all his might that breaks Satra and kills Ott. When everyone thought it was over, the stars arranged themselves in a specific pattern. The Satra covers up Ott's body and gives him all the power. He's the one about whom the prophecy was made. The one who will combine Muay Thai with Satra to defeat Dehayaksa. Ott's tattoos also carry a significant meaning and start glowing. He attacks Dehayaksa and knocks him out of the temple. Dehayaksa screams in anger and transforms into a huge monster with 3 pairs of hands. Ott doesn't get scared at all and keeps fighting the monster bravely. This is the mission he was born for. This is the punishment for all the evil deeds Dehayaksa did. This is the moment for which Ott's loved ones and ancestors sacrifice their lives. Thinking all this, Ott concentrates his powers in one final blow and defeats the evil lord. The sun shines out and brings a new hope of life. Finally, Ramthep Nakorn is peaceful once again. Lord Dehayaksa, who lost his power, is sent into the deepest dungeon. Now Maratha reigns over the Yaksha clan and gives independence to Ramthep Nakorn. He also ordered the Yaksha soldiers to rebuild the city. Challen was reunited with her brother, and both of them have disappeared. After Ramthep Nakorn was revived, Maratha also ordered the troops to help revive Manakot, the city of Prince Vada. Meanwhile, Ott served the royal child as Muay Thai teacher and became head of the royal guard for a while. Then he thought about his past and resigned from his position. He went back to Nok-Aen Islands to lead a peaceful life. Suddenly, one day, he encounters Zion again and finally gets a chance to continue his love story. Evil may cast a long shadow, but its victory is not for long. Sooner or later, the courage of the righteous will rise to dispel the darkness and bring back the peace.